Kane into Basuma. It's got to be 1-0. Oh my word. Kulusevski and Kane, not great communication. Kane's going to strike, you know. Unfortunately, we do manage to win it back. Kulusevski. I was trying to look for Son, but Højbjerg picks it up. Welcome back, everyone, and welcome to another episode of my FIFA 22 career mode with Tottenham Hotspur Football Club. And as you can see, it is transfer deadline day, January the 31st. And I've actually made the decision not to bring in any players. We did bring in 3 players in the summer, and I did want to make the decision as only bringing in 3 players per season at the very beginning of this career mode. So I've decided not to bring in any further players. I've got an offer here from Brian Hill from Seville. I'm going to block that and turn that down. And as I said, I'm not going to go for any new players, although we do have Valverde, who's out pretty much for the rest of the season. That only leaves us with Skip, Højbjerg and Basuma in the centre of the park. But it's a risk I took at the beginning of the season, and I don't just, I don't want to make it too unrealistic. I kind of want to have a fair and realistic season. So I'm going to go ahead and not purchase any new players, and I'm just going to go ahead and hopefully that doesn't bite me, or come back to bite me, I should say, come the end of the season. But on to the next part of this episode, and let's quickly head over to the calendar to see the games we've got coming up. We've got Brighton at home, we've got a big away tie against Inter Milan in the Champions League, big Premier League tie away against Liverpool, and then we're going to finish off the episode with a home game against West Ham. So I'm going to sim the Brighton game, play the other 3, and if we quickly take a look at the Premier League table just before we start the game against Brighton, you'll see level on points with Chelsea, 5 points clear of City in 3rd, 6 points clear of Manchester United in 4th. So all to play for, and we've got to continue the theme of trying to get as many wins as we can, trying to see if we can put some distance between ourselves and Chelsea. But having said that, I am pretty much going almost full rotation against Brighton, bearing in mind we do have that midweek game against Inter Milan in the Champions League that I definitely need to get a good result from. As you can see, Lloris has kept his place in goal, Longley, Lacroix and Sanchez at the back, Royale and Sessegnon in the wing-back positions. Basuma keeps his place in midfield with Skip and Brian Hill joining him in the centre of midfield with Richarlison and Lucas Moura up front. And it is a 2-0 win for Tottenham. Great way to start this episode off. Clean sheet at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in spite of Brighton having 70% possession. That is ridiculous. They only managed 2 shots, 2 chances. 70% possession to Brighton at home for us. That is unbelievable, but it doesn't really matter. We get the job done. 2-0. Brian Hill and Richarlison getting on the score sheet, and that will put us in a very good place to head over to Inter Milan. And here we go then on to the San Siro for the first leg of our knockout tie against Inter Milan in the Champions League. As you can see, obviously I've gone very much back to my first 11, and as for Inter Milan, they've gone 3 at the back, 5 in midfield with a bit of an unorthodox midfield. They've got Gosens on the left-hand side who's pushed up higher than Dumfries on the right, so that's going to be quite interesting. And then obviously they've got 2 up front as well. As I have done in previous episodes, I have struggled a little bit with 3 at the back, but they're playing with seemingly a right and a left midfielder rather than wing-back, so it's going to be interesting to see how we get on in this opening leg, but fingers crossed we can get a decent result. And here we are then, the first played game of this episode, and what a game it is. A knockout tie against Inter Milan at the San Siro, and this really is a huge game. Our aim this season is to win both the Premier League and the Champions League. I think the Champions League will be a bit of a stretch, but obviously we're going to see what we can do. We've spent a hell of a lot of money this summer, so let's see whether or not we can get past Inter Milan. It looks like Gosens goes past my right back there without too many issues. Fortunately, Lloris is able to collect. Dzeko into Barella. Barella was definitely he was a summer transfer target for me, but just a little bit too far out of the budget. As Inter Milan hit first with a first opportunity, well wide though. Son into Kulusevski, finds Basuma. Basuma looking for the run of Ricardo Pereira, finds him. And Ricardo Pereira with a really good opportunity early doors in this first half, blazes it over the bar again. I've spoken time and time again about putting too much power in my shots, and I've done it again. Big opportunity there for Ricardo Pereira. Still 0-0. Basuma, can he win that in the air? He does. Hits it down to Delict, to Bastoni. He's going to look for the run. I was trying to look for the run of Pereira. That is a phenomenal ball. To Pereira, to Kane. Straight at the goalkeeper. Gaia throws that to Højbjerg. Looks for Basuma, finds him, looking for the run off Ricardo Pereira. I do find him, he's not as high as I would have liked him to be. Kane into Basuma, it's got to be 1-0. Oh my word. Oh my word. That is a horrendous miss. And it's the second biggest miss of the game. Sorry, it's the biggest miss of the game. It's another miss from us. It's our second big miss of the game, but that is definitely the biggest. Huge opportunity for Basuma. One-on-one with the goalkeeper. Puts it wide. Kulusevski into Ricardo Pereira. Kane gives it back to Ricardo Pereira. He's got space to run into on this right-hand side. Going to try and swing this in. We do. Son is there. 1-0. That is a brilliant goal. Fantastic goal. Great build-up play between Kane and Ricardo Pereira on the right-hand side. A great ball right across the box. And to be fair, when I first crossed that, I didn't really think there were too many options in there. But all I needed was Heung-min Son on the volley. Smashes that past the goalkeeper. And we have the lead here at the San Siro. And more importantly, we have the away goal at the San Siro. It's Inter Milan 1, Tottenham 0. Poor ball, but Harry Kane manages to pick that up. Tried to thread that through, but it's a good block from Declan Rice, his English compatriot, I should say. That's Alexis Sanchez onto the field now. Gossens into Dzeko. Back out wide to Gossens. Where is my defence? No idea. Nice ball in. Bastoni with a strong header away. Only out as far as Dumfries. Declan Rice into Dzeko. He had the chance to shoot. Didn't take it. Shocking play from him there. But luckily for us, we can get this away and we can counter-attack here. Kane with the ball right over the top to Kulusevski. I think he's still onside. He is onside. Kulusevski to put this across. Can't get onto it. In to get it away. Only as far as Kane. Good save from Handanovic. So I'm going to swing this one in. Straight into the penalty spot. It's above Kane's head. It's out to Basuma. Basuma was going to try and pass that, but just couldn't get enough on it. Kulusevski has it though. Gives it to Højbjerg, gives it to Basuma, gives it back to Højbjerg. Højbjerg to strike, and that is an unbelievable finish. What a strike from outside of the box from Pierre-Emile Højbjerg, and he puts us 2-0 up. He boots the corner flag into light. That is a fantastic finish. Great work between Basuma and Højbjerg, and Højbjerg, first time, absolutely, with the outside of his foot, curls that away from the goalkeeper. That is a fantastic finish, and that is for sure a contender for goal of this Champions League season. Unbelievable finish from Højbjerg, and we lead 2-0. Gives that to Emerson Royal, the substitute. Harry Kane looks for Heung-min Son, finds him. Son finds Emerson Royal. Ball across. Kulusevski couldn't stick it in the back of the net. De Ligt, nice defending from him. Gets it away, and that is the end of the game. It's a solid 2-0 win here for us at the San Siro, and as I was saying, to be honest, we weren't really troubled too much. We get the 2 away goals. That puts us in a really strong position heading back to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. In our opening played game here in this episode, it's Inter Milan 0, Tottenham 2. And it's on to our next big game of the episode at Anfield. It is away, of course, to Liverpool. Just going to check through my team to see whether or not I need to make any changes. Romero's got a bit of fatigue, so I'll swap him out for Lacroix, who's now up to 81. Gaia, pretty much everyone else has a decent fatigue level, so no more changes need to be made for me. So as you can see, this is my starting 11. Let's take a quick look at Liverpool, see what they've got. They've gone 4-3-3 as per usual. Alexander-Arnold, De Vrij, Van Dijk, Tsimikas in defence, Fabinho, Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain and Keita in midfield with Salah, Jota and Diaz up front. So yeah, pretty normal from Liverpool. But again, we struggled. Well, we did really well against them in the first season, but then we struggled earlier on. Could only get a draw in the home game earlier on in the season. So fingers crossed we can get a better result, and hopefully we can try and put some daylight between ourselves and Chelsea. Throw in here to Tottenham. We had a lot of success in the game against, well, in both games against Liverpool last season. Oh my word, that is horrendous defending from Lacroix. And now Liverpool can try and counter-attack, just as I was talking about the success that we had earlier on in the previous season. Mo Salah going to try and get this across, gives it to Jota. Lovely ball across Fabinho. Good save from Hugo Lloris. We're all over the shop defensively. Unfortunately, we get it clear. Only out as far as Jota. Fortunately, Bastoni makes the interception. He doesn't manage to get it clear. Mo Salah picks this up. Relentless pressure from Liverpool. Early doors. Liverpool putting so much pressure. Lloris with a punch. Why on earth did he punch it? Fortunately, he manages to collect. Keita, lovely little flick there from him. On to Fabinho. Gives it upfield. Mo Salah out wide to Alexander-Arnold. Liverpool putting a lot of pressure on us inside the opening 20 minutes. Guy manages to force Alexander-Arnold out wide. Does. And now we collect with Kulusevski. Goes past Fabinho with ease. Can we counter now? Liverpool tend to put a lot of pressure on us, but then they leave a lot of spaces behind. Kulusevski, Basuma is at the back post. It's 1-0. Just as I was saying, they put a lot of pressure on us. They leave a lot of space, and the space was left right at the back post for Basuma to fill and to smash the ball into the back of the net, and we lead here at Anfield 1-0. The first time, or both times we played them in the previous season, they do press so high, just as they do in real life, but they leave acres of space behind. We couldn't take advantage of it earlier on in this season, but we do inside the opening 25 minutes. Basuma with a great goal, smashes that across Alisson, leaves it with no chance. It's Liverpool 0, Tottenham 1. Gives that to Basuma. Somehow it got through to him, not really sure how. Maybe he has it back. Kulusevski now has it. Acres of space across there for Ricardo Pereira, but Kane... My word, I was trying to give that to Ricardo Pereira, but it was a great ball into Kane. Kane struck. Good save from Alisson. Corner here for us now. Heung-min Son to throw this one in into the penalty spot. No one's there. Kane almost got his head to it. Lacroix's going to strike from distance. And that wasn't too far away. Little bounce pass between the two of them. And now Oxlade-Chamberlain has it in space in midfield. Gives it to Jota. Lovely little turn away from Lacroix. But De Ligt is there. And Liverpool, though, with the press, we can't get away. And they pick the ball up once again. Jota, infield to Fabinho. Gives that to Luis Diaz. Nice little turn from him. Gives it back to Oxlade-Chamberlain. Out wide to Keita. Good stop from Hugo Lloris. From, I think it was... No, from Luis Diaz, actually. I thought that was from Salah. But yeah, important stop there. Keeps the game at 1-0. Tsimikas gets there before him. Liverpool still pressing. Looks like they've got a man down in Fabinho in the box. But can we counter? We're just going to play on now. Doesn't look like a head injury. So no need for us to give the ball up. But we do not... we do manage to counter. What is going on between Kulusevski and Kane? Not great communication. Kane's going to strike, you know. And that is just wide from Harry Kane. Alexander-Arnold intercepted by Heung-min Son after some good pressing from us. All the talk about Liverpool's pressing. We are now the ones pressing. Heung-min Son pressing forward. Going to strike from the outside of the box. And it's a good save from Alisson. I think that was deflected. Not sure who it was off. Might have been Tsimikas. But I think that was possibly going wide, or maybe going in the back of the net. But either way, we get a corner. Son going to throw this one in. Can aim for the penalty spot. Bastoni's there on his head. Over the bar. Darwin Nunez picks it up again. Lays that off to Alexander Oxlade-Chamberlain. Back into Darwin Nunez. Lloris is there. We do just manage to get it away. And can we now counter-attack? Can Guy get there first? He can't. Over to Oliver Skipp, substitute. Lovely ball across to Ricardo Pereira, who is now in acres of space to try and drive forward. Gives that to Kulusevski. Lays it off to Son with his left. Good save from the goalkeeper. Could I have really just taken that and struck with Kulusevski? I probably could. I don't really know why I laid it off. I was expecting Son to continue his run, but he seemed to just drop off. And annoyingly, we can't stick the ball in the back of the net. But we do now have a corner. Heung-min Son going to throw this one in again. Going to aim for Bastoni. Into the penalty spot. It's Richarlison over the bar once again. Almost running into trouble. Lloris gives that to Bastoni. Gives it to De Ligt, doing a really nice job of getting away from the Liverpool press. Oliver Skipp. Richarlison. Basuma. He's got acres of space to run into. It's Yves Basuma over to Heung-min Son. It's 2-0 here at Anfield. And surely that will be that. A lovely, lovely piece of play from us. An incisive counter-attack. Nicely picked out from Basuma over to Son, and Heung-min Son with the easy task of putting it into the back of the net. And that is what I'm talking about. Liverpool press so high. If we can do enough, if we can have enough composure to beat the press, that leaves them wide open for the counter-attack. And once again, we make them pay. Poor ball. Gives it straight to Oxlade-Chamberlain. Darwin Nunez goes past De Ligt with ease. Out wide to Luis Diaz. Gives it back to Chamberlain. Out wide again to Diaz. Liverpool responding well to the setback earlier. Nice little ball across. Basuma's there. Lacroix is there. And Liverpool he almost snuck in there, but fortunately we managed to get it away. Fabinho straight at Lloris. Ricardo Pereira. We are playing with fire a little bit here. But again, just trying to draw them out. Doing a really good job of doing so. Lovely play here. Kulusevski, the ball was to Basuma, to be completely honest, but Ricardo Pereira in acres of space to drive into, to make it 3, straight at the goalkeeper. Darwin Núñez won that in the air, and Gaia will win the interception, and I think that will likely be that. Delict, it is that it. It is the end of the game. We win the game here 2-0, and to be honest, Liverpool didn't really have too many chances. They pressed us high. There were a couple of dodgy moments, but overall we managed to beat the press. We beat the press, more importantly, twice, and put the ball in the back of the net. Finishes here at Anfield, 2-0 to Spurs, and we continue our march to the Premier League title. And it's on to the final game of the episode, and it is a home game against West Ham at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, and of course, another London derby. And of course, it is such a big game, so I have gone back to my usual first 11 with Ricardo Pereira coming in for Emerson Royale on the right-hand side. As for West Ham, it's a 4-2-3-1 for them. No changes or no surprises really for them. So hopefully we can get a decent result. Basuma now has it. Lovely little layoff from Harry Kane. The run there was from Heung-min Son, but he was just being squeezed by the two West Ham defenders. Kane now across to Son. Couldn't get there ahead of the defender. Ricardo Pereira can. Good pressure from us early doors in this first half. Højbjerg, great tackle from Souček, and West Ham can now counter themselves. This is back and forth between the two teams. Jared Bowen picks it up on the left-hand side. Gives it back to Emerson, who boots it, and Bastoni will easily collect. Paredes now has it on this right-hand side. Has he taken too heavy a touch? He has. Gaia with a nice clean tackle. Kulusevski back over to Gaia. Gives it to Heung-min Son. I'm looking for the run of Gaia again. I can find him. Going to try and swing this in. I do. And Heung-min Son, sorry, not Heung-min Son, it was Kulusevski was there. But annoyingly, that goes out for a goal kick. To Lucas Paqueta, back to Souček, back to Paqueta. Nice little passing from West Ham in the middle of the park. But Gaia intercepts there, brings this forward now. Little dink into Son. Kane has it. Looks back for Gaia. I find him. The run was almost on from somebody, just strayed offside. So I'll give it back to Kane, to Basuma. Try and drive forward. Can find Kulusevski in a decent area inside the box. Going to try and finesse this. I do. And it's a good save from Pickford in the end. Kind of got sandwiched in between two West Ham players. Unfortunately, we do manage to win it back. Kulusevski. I was trying to look for Son, but Højbjerg picks it up. My word, very, very close from Højbjerg. Good strike from outside of the box, trying to replicate what he did earlier on in the episode, but it just goes wide of the mark. Drives forward, Bastoni with a big challenge, and we can counter-attack again here. We're doing a good job of countering, but we're not doing a good job of sticking the ball in the back of the net. Kane has it, tries to drive forward, doesn't have the pace to get away from the defender. I'm going to try and finesse that. My word, it's off the bar. It beat Pickford. It didn't beat the crossbar. Unbelievable strike from Harry Kane. Almost 1-0. Nice little ball infield to Kulusevski. Kulusevski to Kane. Kane going to try and float this over the top. He does. Ricardo Pereira is running onto it. He had Son in the middle, but he was blocked. Ricardo Pereira on his left. My word. I thought that was going to nestle into the top left-hand corner, but annoyingly, it goes just wide. 10 minutes left in this game. I have made some changes. I have gone 4-3-3, and that has left us wide open at the back. As Jared Bowen swings that one in, off the post. Romero hacks it away. Very, very lucky for us there. And we can't get the ball clear. Souček to Paredes, back to Souček, back to Paredes. Samaka now has it. Can Romero get the challenge in? He can't. Paredes, Gaia just hacks that away. To be honest, I was just smashing the circle button. I thought I was trying to clear that away from my lines, but annoyingly, I only cleared it out for a corner. West Ham presumably going to throw this one in. They do. It's a deep one from Bowen, and it's off the post again. West Ham are banging at the door, and they just cannot get it open. I don't know why we have been so poor defensively in these last 15-20 minutes, but we have, and we are very, very lucky that we are yet to concede a goal. Basuma wins it well. Bastoni gets it clear. Heung-min Son to Richarlison. Richarlison looks for Kulusevski, finds him, doesn't have the pace to go past the defender. Johnson infield to Souček. Looks like this is probably going to be the last attack of the game. Paredes, I think the switch to 4-3-3 has not worked. And that didn't work either from Fornals. But I think it will be a goal kick. And I think it will likely be, it will not be a goal kick, it will be a corner kick. And it will be the last corner kick of the game. Swung in from West Ham. Can we get it clear? It's way over the bar for Samaka. And that will be the end of the game. It's 0-0 here at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. I think we carved out the better opportunities definitely in the first half and early in the second half, but West Ham very, very unlucky not to put the ball in the back of the net. And to be honest, we're very, very lucky to keep a clean sheet and to come away with just the 1 point. It ends here at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Tottenham 0, West Ham 0. And that is that for the end of this episode. As you can see, we've got Newcastle in the FA Cup as our first game of the next episode. But going on to the Premier League, somehow we still sit top, but Chelsea do have a game in hand and we're only a point clear of them. So if Chelsea win, if I can have a look to see who their fixture is going to be against, it's probably not going to be in February, is it? It's going to be in March. Looks like they've got City next, but we obviously do have Everton away. So I don't know who their game in hand will be against, but if they win it, they will go top. City and United also have a game in hand as well on us. So tricky times here after a disappointing draw against West Ham. But for now, we are still top. Chelsea, City and United make up the top 4. Liverpool in 5th. Arsenal all the way down in 8th. And if we scroll to the bottom of the table, Brentford, West Brom and Stoke continue to remain in the bottom 3. But for us, again, we just about sit top. How long will that last for? Time will tell. But let's head over to the calendar. Let's see what we've got in the next episode. So we've got a cup game in the FA Cup against Newcastle. We've got obviously the return leg against Inter Milan at home in the Champions League. And then we've got 3 Premier League games, Everton, Man City and Manchester United. Huge games, both in the Champions League, the FA Cup and the Premier League. Next episode is definitely an episode you do not want to miss. If you have enjoyed this episode, please feel free to like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you again next time.